So we have a major problem. There are reports that Republicans are actually attempting to push back a very important piece of legislation in order to get Democrats to reduce spending here in the United States. And if Republicans can do this and push back spending for 6 months, that could be devastating to millions and millions of Americans. And I want to explain why that is. Now, on December 16th, Congress must agree on a government funding bill for fiscal year 2023. Or they could potentially pass a short-term bill, a continuing resolution, to get into potentially the new year or possibly into just next week. Either way, a bill must pass or else the federal government will shut down. Now, what does this mean? This means that federal agencies will be shut down like NASA, the Department of Justice, national parks, and even the Social Security Administration. Yes, Social Security Administration would shut down, but it would just be their offices. So if you are worried, would you still get a check? Yes, you would still get a check, but if you need to go into the office, you need to issue more paperwork, they would not be there to accept it. That would be a major problem. Which brings me to the next order of business. What Republicans and Democrats are attempting to do at this time? Well, first off, Democrats want to avoid a long-term extension. There have actually been talks as of right now to push the continuing resolution for 1 year. Pretty much a full omnibus bill. But the difference is they would just continue with the current spending plan. That means no additional income for the Social Security Administration, nothing for parks, nothing for the space program, nothing, no additional money. And that's what, according to the Biden administration, they are saying this would have disastrous consequences. And it's all because of inflation. Due to inflation, many agencies would be forced to lay off some of their employees just to balance out their books. That's a problem. Well, we could also see public education take a hit. Many government agencies would struggle just to navigate through 2023. And we're already seeing some. They are struggling just to make it to the end of 2022 without cuts. But 2023 would be worse. Now, regarding Social Security and other spending programs, here's the worry. And this is where some say this would be a complete catastrophe. The worry that Democrats have as of right now is if they wait too long into 2023, this would put the government spending bill up against a debt limit increase and the debt limit debate. Now, according to multiple Biden administration officials, they say that raising the debt limit is needed, and not raising the debt limit would cause multiple programs to have to cut their benefits or their programs. This would include programs like Social Security. Could we see Social Security recipients not get their full 100% benefit? It's possible. Could Medicare, military, education, even the highway maintenance? Yeah. All those programs could see cuts, and that is a huge, huge problem. Now, here's what we can expect moving into this week. Currently, both parties believe that they can get a deal done. That's good news. Well, if you saw that on mainstream media or saw it on the internet, probably thinking, well, that's good. But did you know that they also both said, as long as the other side is willing to negotiate? Again, that's the problem. As of right now, there's no deal on paper. We have no deal. There was actually supposed to be a Democratic release just yesterday on Sunday. But then they got reports that there was hope of a bipartisan deal, so they put that on hold. So as of right now, we're simply waiting to see what is actually going to come at this time. Could we see a bipartisan deal? Could we see a Democratic bill come out? It's possible. But again, we don't know. We have to wait and we have to see what actually comes. But keep this in mind. As of right now, there's no top line number. We don't have a top line number, and until we have a top line number, none of the bills can actually be written. We have a wish list of items, and that's come from President Biden and many lawmakers as well. But as far as the the 13 bills that have to be written to adhere to that top line number, that's where the negotiations are really going to ramp up. So as of right now, we can't even come to an agreement on a top line number. And just think about this. So I want to read you the appropriation bills. Okay, these are the ones that need to be included. Some of these are going to be easy. Others are going to fight for more money. But here are the appropriations bills that are going to be included into this omnibus bill. We got agriculture, commerce, justice, and state. We got the defense, District of Columbia, energy and water, foreign operations, interior. I just want to point this out. Foreign operations, that's going to be key. That will be key as to how low Democrats are willing to accept a deal, because Republicans don't want to give much to that. Labor, health, and human services, also education. The legislative branch, military construction, transportation, Treasury, and the Postal Service. And then we got Veterans Affairs, housing, and urban development. We have to address all those. All of those things have to be addressed. Do you see why this is a problem? This is a major problem because we only have till Friday to get a deal done. We got 4 days. But keep in mind, it's possible to push this back. Now, here's my expectation. My expectation is we are going to see a short-term CR. It's likely going to be just 1 week. We will likely see Congress push this off to next week. And you're probably thinking, well, what's the difference? Why would they push it off till next week? Why wouldn't they just push it off till next month, till sometime in January, till the new Congress comes in? Well, here's why. If Congress can push this off 1 week, it puts lawmakers under the kind of the microscope. It puts more pressure on them because lawmakers would need to get this bill done before they can head back home and spend the holidays with their family. That's the issue. That's the reason. The reason is it keeps the government funded for another week, but it puts more pressure on lawmakers. Think about this. If they were to come out and say, you know what, let's just take the rest of the year off. Let's reconvene back in 2023. We'll come with our new Congress, whatever. We'll start there and we'll have a fresh start. The problem with that is it gives them a fresh start, but it also means the new people coming in, they can take a little bit longer. They can, put in their priorities and go back to the negotiation table and try to renegotiate their ideas into it. And so it could take even longer. So pushing it back into January would likely push it back even further, possibly February, March. But like I said, if this goes further and further back and we get closer to that July cutoff date for the debt ceiling, that creates a major problem because we can't afford to get there and have a negotiation for the debt ceiling and the government funding bill at the same time. Because according to Democrats, they know what will happen. Republicans will try to pressure them into reduced spending in order to increase the debt limit. Again, this is a problem, and this is why we need to keep an eye on this. But as soon as I know more information, I promise I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. But this is what we got as of this afternoon. Again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.